Today I'm going to give you the 5 most important emails to send to your lead after they book a call with you, so you can copy paste them into your business to reduce no-shows, educate your leads before the call, and collect more paid in full deals. Before we added these for our client, they experienced no-show rates as high as 30 to 40%, and after we implemented these emails, it dropped down to 10% or less, while also increasing their close rate. And I'm going to show you each email, break down why it works, and I'm giving you permission to steal all of them to make loads of extra cash. And the special email format is an absolute game changer, not because of the content, because it is a very standard email, but because of this little psychological approach, which I haven't seen anyone talking about. It becomes infinitely more powerful. So let's get straight into it. Now, some quick context on why this matters. You see, this is a very standard ad, like cold traffic VSL book a call page, where you have your ads. Obviously they click the button from the ad, then they go to your VSL page, then they have the multi-step form which gives you the contact information, and then you have them book a call with you, right? And it works really well. This is a funnel that is proven and it works amazing. But the problem is this 3 to 5 day gap after they book the call. So from when they book the call, right, this is where they book the call, and then this is the time where the call happens, right? So the problem is these 3 to 5 days, and most people here, they don't do shit. They just send them the standard email, Calendly email reminders, which is not enough. So you have to understand that when someone books a call with you, it doesn't mean they're going to buy or even show up, right, to the call. All about call confirm is that the lead had an intention, and intentions, they die fast. The moment they book, they might be excited for a little while because they believe there and then that you can help them solve their painful problem, but then doubt will kick in, right, in these days. And they will ask, like, did I make the right call? Is this going to be a waste of time? Maybe I should reschedule. Maybe I should, whatever. Then life happens. Kids get sick. Meetings pile up. They forget why they were excited in the first place. Or worse, they forget about your call. But that's all right because you have your reminder emails in place, right? Well, no, because reminder emails might, remind them about the call, but it gives them no reason to actually hop on the call. And even if they do hop on the call, they will be super cold and hard to sell because they don't understand your offer, they don't share your values, and they don't believe your offer will work for them 100%. So not only will they bombard you with a million questions, but you'll have to pull their teeth to get any information out of them. And that's the reason sales calls feel so hard and awkward when you're with leads, like cold leads who just found out you existed and hop on the call with you. But now imagine if you could pre-handle objections, keep the leads warm until the call happened, and make them believe your offer will work for them before they even get on the call. Which means they'll definitely see the value of jumping on the call, but not only that, they'll be ready to pay in full and get started ASAP, so your sales cycles will shorten drastically and your sales call will be a piece of cake. That's what these 5 emails I'm about to show you are going to do for you. And even though it sounds too good, I promise you this is real. This really works because each one hits at a specific moment and addresses a specific belief they have. And lastly, before we actually dive in, I made these templates specifically for you if you're running a high ticket service as a coach, consultant, or B2B service provider. The concept works for other industries and price classes as well, but the framework and the structure and the content of the emails will be a little bit different. So just keep that in mind while I walk you through. So these are the 5 emails, right? Email 1, I called it the decision validator. Yeah, right. And this goes out immediately after they book the call. And essentially all it is an email that confirms their action and setting the right frame. Personally, I like telling them exactly what I need from them on the call, but here's why this email is so important. Right after someone commits to something, there's a psychological phenomenon called post-decision dissonance. Bias remorse before they've even bought. The brain starts looking for reasons they made a mistake because our brain is built for survival and avoiding risks, right? So making a decision which we are not familiar with how it works or even if it will work is a risk. Our brain also craves to save energy. It is, quite frankly, we're lazy. And therefore we have to make sure that the brain sees the value of actually showing up to the call early on. This email will handle all of that, and the template looks something like this. So you have the subject line, which is like, here's how to get the best results from your call, right? And essentially the goal of this email, as I said, is just to prime them correctly for you. Now, note, as I won't be giving them the link to the meeting or telling them the date or whatever, because they've already received an email from Calendly or your other booking service provider giving them all of the details. This email is purely for setting expectations, making them engage and priming them for the call. And then you can have the preview text that's like, congrats on booking, I need this X type of things from you, right? So then the email really reads, hey Nate, congrats on booking your call, because most people spend months stuck at the same revenue, weight, or income, etc., trying to random tax and hoping something right. You're skipping that. In the next few days, we're going to look at your specific situation and map out exactly what's not working and how to fix it. But most people don't know how to come prepared and get themselves goals. So in this email, I want to go over the 4 things, and then you go over the 4 things, and then you mention also before the call, you get a few things from some videos, some cases, some stuff that will help you get more out of our conversation. So keep an eye on your inbox. So like you're priming them to essentially look out for your emails so that they expect that something more is coming, right? And that gives you like the approval to give them the email 2, right? And email 2 is the mechanism email. This gets sent to them approximately 6 hours after they book the call. And the purpose of this email is to get them to believe this way, that your way of solving the problem will actually work. And the way we convince them is the right decision that will work is by breaking down your unique mechanism, by first showing why the old way never worked and why your new way will work. This email handles one of the 3 beliefs needed to make someone buy your offer: the weak belief, the belief about if this is the right approach for them and if it will work for them. And the template goes something like this, right? So you have the subject line as why most solutions in your space, for example, cold DMs or weight loss programs or sales training, don't work. And then you can have an alternative, something like, here's exactly how unique mechanism gets you a result, right? So the body reads something like, hey name, before I call, I want to explain something. You'll probably try coming up with 1 or 2, is why those didn't work, and then you have some short sentence about why it didn't work. What we do is different, and you have 2 to 3 sentences on your mechanism explaining the logic behind why your approach works when everything else hasn't. And then you bring back a testimonial. This is how a relevant and, more importantly, relatable case study. And the reason I say more importantly relatable is something I'll show you in the next email, because this is like a whole new way of thinking, which I just realized. And then, even though he didn't have XYZ, you want to remove self-limiting beliefs. We'll dig deeper on our recall, but before you can watch this quick video explaining how and why it works. So the reason we do this video is this is a breakout video to further educate your lead. Like, this email just one part of a much bigger and advanced system we use to get our clients high show rates and like basically pre-sold leads. So just keep that in mind as well. And then we have the third email, right, which is the pricing, right? And again, remember that this is an example taking into account that you're selling a high ticket service, right? And this goes out the next day after the book the call. And you've already explained to them why this will work, right? Now, depending on your audience and how well they respond or believe your mechanism email and the video, you might want to either keep this email as the third or switch places with the next email, which is going to be the proof/case study email. And I know you're probably thinking, why am I going to reveal my price on this email? I would never reveal my price before the sales call. Well, if you're tired of broke leads or tired users showing up to your calls and you value your time more than anything, then this email is going to be a savior for you, because we are filtering out leads who are just going to end the call with, I need to think about it, and that goes to you because the price came as a shock and they don't have or want to invest that kind of money. But if they know the price range upfront, like not the specifics, but just the range, and they still decide to show up to the call, there's a much higher chance you'll be talking to someone who is ready to pay you what you're worth right there and then, instead of dragging it for months. So the subject line will be something simple like the investment to solve X problem, right? And you basically have it as, hey name, most people will hide the price before the call so that they can throw their objection handling document on you or like at you, whatever. And this is just for like some humor, because people try to objection handle them all the time and they're used to it and they don't want that. So you point that out. But I'm not in that kind of business. I value my time, and I'm sure you do as well. So to save us both time, I'm going to reveal the exact pricing, how we work, and why we do it this way. Then you reveal the cost, you reveal the pricing, you reveal, or like you explain why you have the model this way, and then you go with the cost. This cost covers, or like this expense covers, the things they really fucking want, because people only buy what they want, not what they need, not what they think they need, not what they believe, but what they really want, right? So, and then you reveal the cost of inaction in a very soft way. And that's it for email 3. And this is probably one of the highest like opened email, because people want to know this. People really want to know this. So make sure this email is really good and that you have everything nailed down. Then you go into email 4, right? And this is the case. This is where we give them some proof from a relatable source. Now, the important thing is, don't choose your best testimonial for the sake of it. Sure, you can mention it at the end, right? But don't make it the main talking point. And I know that sounds contrary to what you've heard before, but flexing your best testimonial when your average lead struggles to believe that he can actually achieve results in the first place, and then you show them how a guy in your product made 400K in 30 days, and it will have the opposite effect, even if it's real and you have all the proof and receipts of it. And even if you get the testimonial you showed the lead to talk to the lead to confirm it, they still won't believe it, right? But what? Instead of them thinking, like, just think about it. Instead of them thinking, wow, this guy gets people amazing results and it works because of the unique mechanism, when they see a big result and they're nowhere hitting that, and they're hitting that in their mind, they'll be thinking about how this guy must have had XYZ things that he doesn't have, like a big audience or more time or a lot of money up front, or maybe he had a hidden talent, and therefore they'll actually be more convinced this might not be the right program for them. But if you choose a relatable and believable testimonial case study with a smaller start and a more humble result, your lead will be able to connect with that person and believe that they too can get the result, right? And this way, this email becomes infinitely more powerful. And I see businesses again and again do this wrong. Now I'm going to show you 2 different emails because they can be written really short, but with a lot of emotion in different ways. So the first email reads something like a very standard email subject line. As I said, this is a very standard email, but the approach of like choosing a smaller result, a more humble or relatable result instead of your biggest result, will make the big difference here. So how name got or made X in Y time, even though he didn't have X, so it will remove limiting beliefs. Name, take a look at this, then you have a screenshot of where the guy was probably like his current, like his past state. Tim was down to his last X dollars, and the rent was coming up. His car wasn't turning up because he didn't have money to fill it up with gas. His kids were literally dipping bread in water for breakfast, dinner, and as a snack. But his paycheck wasn't coming in another week. He knew he couldn't keep on living paycheck to paycheck, but Tim had no experience, no degree, and almost no upfront capital. Regardless, he made a very bold decision. He booked the same call you did. right? And now we're priming them for showing up to the call because Tim, which was in a relatable situation to them, he, even though he didn't have shit, he decided to book the same call they did. And then we read on. And he showed with a willingness to learn and invest. And 2 months later, he sent me this. So then you will have a screenshot of a positive, like, after result, like maybe him driving around with his kids or his family, or like going out to eat, whatever, right? Or his bank account by being filled by a couple grand, right? And just in a Y time, he went from X position to Y position with program name, your program name, or your unique mechanism. And then you said Tim wasn't special, and you certainly don't have any big advantage other than the fact that he was done being stuck where he was. Tim just finally found something that worked, and that's what I want to show you in our call. Again, you're selling the call. That's all you're doing. You're making a relatable source, and you're selling them on showing up to the call. Now, the other email is for like a fitness coach. This isn't the exact email, I've changed it slightly, but this is an email we've used. So the subject line is Sarah almost canceled her call with us, or you can have it as Sarah dropped 29 pounds in 3 months, right? And the body reads, hey name, I need to tell you about Sarah because when I saw your application, she's the first person I thought. Sarah was 43, 2 kids, worked from home. She'd gained 35 pounds over the last 40, not all at once, just slowly, the kind of weight that sneaks up on you until one day you see a photo from your kid's birthday and you don't recognize yourself. She tried stuff, keto for 3 years, lost 8 pounds, gained back 12. A workout she used for maybe 6 days. So you basically explain the like her current position, past curve position, and you make it super relatable. Like to moms, this is going to be super, super relatable, right? And then one of those meal deals, yeah. Each time she felt, she charged herself a little less. By the time she found out, she told me later that she almost didn't book the call. Right, and now we're getting into the why she didn't book the call. Like, why would she not want to book the call? And I figure I'd just be wasting time. I'm not someone who sticks with things. And this is a common belief the audience had. So you see how we reframe that and how we use that in this email. This is very powerful stuff. That's what she believed about herself, but she booked anyway. And there's what I noticed on the first call. And then we prompted like this target audience was moms, right? So Sarah didn't have a discipline problem. I mean, after all, she's taking care of her 2 kids, fed them up, gone to work, and kept her house clean every single day, regardless of how she felt. And you might think that's an obligation when you're a mom, but no, it shows that she's a very disciplined and good mom. But everything she tried required her to be perfect. Perfect meals, perfect workouts, perfect willpower. And the first time life got in the way, a sick kid, a stressful week, or a bad sleep, the whole thing collapsed. So we didn't give her another program. We gave her something she could do even on her worst days. So this image essentially showing a very relatable person going through a very relatable story that the target audience is likely experiencing, and then we are handling all of these beliefs subconsciously, but they're not even aware of that, but we are handling them and making them sure that they believe that this will get them a result too, because they have these something beliefs, but Sarah had them too, and it didn't let her stop her, and then she received like the end result, which was down 29 pounds, you know. And again, with something cool, that's what I want to show on our call, you know. Simple, very, very, very simple. And then we have email 5, right? So email 5 is the email that gets sent out the evening before the call. And essentially this is just an email reminder. Lets them know about the upcoming call and why they should bother to show up. Because life is life, you know, and things happen and they might forget about it totally. So this email reminds them and makes them remember the value of actually showing up to the call ready. And the template is really simple. So like you have the sort of like, see you tomorrow. I know I'm around for tomorrow at time. Here's exactly what we're going through. Thing 1, 2, and 3. Here's what I need from you. Thing 1, 2, and 3. Here are some other people who booked this call, show up and got results. Customer 1, 2, and 3. And see you tomorrow. Your name. So that's the entire sequence, right? That's the entire secret of lowering your no-show rates and getting more paid in full deals. So just a recap, email 1 is the decision validator. It goes to the email and stop buyers from more. Email 2 is the mechanism so you can sell them on your solution before they even talk to you. Email 3 reveals the price so you filter out leads who are never going to buy. Email 4 is a case study email with a slight to be connecting with the lead in a way they've never experienced before so you can increase their trust in you and your brand and handle self-limiting abilities before they even like think about it, you know. And email 5 is just a simple run, what you're going to go through, what you need from them, and what people achieve with your help. And that's it. 5 emails, each one designed to hit a specific, very, very specific data at the specific moment it shows up. You can copy this workflow, adjust your offer, and then put them up in the automation section of your CRM and start getting people to show up to the call and ready to invest in your program. Our clients typically see close rates jump 15 to 20% almost immediately just by adding these emails, right? And I've added these templates in a Google Docs. You can access for free down below, no opt-in required. And also if you want to see how we build out the full system around it, because this is just a small part, like this is just the emails. We have lots of extra stuff. So if you want to see the full system around this to make leads show up educated and pre-sold in your method, there's a link below this video which you can click and book a call with us. On that call, we'll look at your business and see if it makes sense for us to even work together. But even if you never talked to us, use these emails. They work really well, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.